It makes me feel good, actually. Hey Siri, 10 minutes. You like that?
Vergil's always been very mentally, very mentally strong. But I don't know.
It's next to the 10. It's north of the 10, ain't it? It's north of the 10?
Yeah,
That's
10. Yeah.
I only know Azusa because I was about to get Chick-fil-A on the way back from medical.
No more talk, no more waiting. Vergil Ortiz has officially kicked off training camp, and the countdown to a massive 3-belt unification fight with Boots Ennis is now underway.
I've had a lot of time to myself, in between, from now to my last fight, which is about a year and a half. We've been in the gym, so don't think that I've just been sitting around doing nothing. I got people saying go to the gym, I'm just posting stuff. I'm like, bro, I trained today. I ran today and all that stuff. I did conditioning today.
It's really the only thing I do all day. So if I'm not boxing and I'm just doing nothing, then I'm just existing.
Yes, I'm very excited to show what I got to offer. I've grown as a fighter and as a person.
Hitting the mitts with Robert Garcia Jr. while training under the guidance of his father, Ortiz is pushing through an intense camp, with every punch sending a clear message about his intentions for Boots.
He'll always be fighting.
Were you reacting to me or you're about this is what I just did right there? I'm a Dalford. Dalford. Were you reacting to me? I was gonna ask for it. Oh, okay.
We'll go ahead and in between the punches on your own. All right? You need to move your head just a little bit up. Ready?
His unit does not stop there, as camp is not just about hitting the mitts. Ortiz is also following a strict diet plan, built to improve his strength and conditioning, something he has always taken very seriously.
In order to fight the best, we gotta be the best, we gotta train the best. We train hard, we're in the gym every day, and we come early. When we're out of here, it doesn't stop. I gotta go eat, I'm eating healthy. I'm gonna recover and go do some of my things. Then I gotta run. Boxing is a 24-hour thing. It doesn't stop after the gym. Yeah, we're about to get some rice in. Get some kebabs. Was this chicken kebabs? It's chicken? It's pollo? Yeah. Chicken kebabs with some bell peppers, and the bell peppers are good for you. It's good.
For Ortiz, this is a full-time lifestyle, backed by 3 to 4 hours in the gym, and another 3 to 4 hours of active recovery, with Robert Garcia Jr. and his father guiding every step.
These past 18 months, and I have a lot more to offer than what I did before. We definitely had to change a few things, like for instance, I do recovery like 4 to 5 hours a day. That's a lot of my time right there. I spend like 3-4 hours in the gym, then I spend another 3-4 just doing active recovery. It's definitely a lifestyle now. If it wasn't a lifestyle before, it is now. Mentally, to have a strong team behind me, with like Hector, Beltran, and the Garcias, and especially my dad, it's very, how do I say, it's very positive. It keeps me in a positive mindset.
Inside Mike Tyson Boxing Club, Ortiz is fully locked in on sharpening his boxing IQ, improving his precision, and polishing every part of his game. Every session is built around making smarter decisions, cleaner combinations, and sharper timing. With Robert Garcia Jr. and his father watching closely, the goal is not just to stay dangerous, but to evolve into the best version of himself before stepping into the biggest fight of his career.
We've been here for like 2 weeks already. This is the third week. We adapted pretty well. I think I adapted in like 5 days, to be honest. We started sleeping real good towards the end of the first week we got here. And we're acclimated. We're as acclimated as we can be. We're just putting the final touches, just focusing on weight as well. So it's, my body knows it's pretty much time.
As Ortiz prepares for the long-awaited showdown with Boots, Oscar De La Hoya has addressed the recent contract dispute. According to him, he signed Ortiz at the start of his professional career, and the misunderstanding between both sides has now been resolved. De La Hoya also hinted that Ortiz is expected to make his return before the end of this year, keeping plans firmly on track.
There was a misunderstanding. Everything is great. Eric Gomez is talking to Rick Meridian, and we're making this happen.
Are you comfortable with the deal that they have negotiated?
I'm very comfortable. Look, we have our deal in place. The original deal that was in place. Outside people try to ruffle things up, let's say, but we have the contracts, we have the relationships, we have Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz, we've had him since he was a baby, since he started boxing professionally, so we feel that we're very close, and Vergil Ortiz will fight this year.
On the other side, Boots is not slowing down either. He has made it clear that no matter who comes next, his goal is to return even better, which is why he is staying busy in the gym. When asked about his preferred next opponent, Boots leaned towards Sebastian Fundora over Josh Kelly, believing Fundora presents a much tougher challenge and would leave a bigger legacy if he wins.
I feel like the better the fighter is, the better I'm gonna be, and the sharper I'm gonna be. So, I'm here to, collect these belts, and I want to be undisputed at 154, and I will be undisputed at 154. I didn't get to do it at 47, so the next best thing is Fundora or Kelly. And I feel like everybody want to see me and Fundora because he's a tall test.
Yeah, I love the Fundora fight. I think that's probably my favorite fight for you that's available right now. Sounds like he might be doing his mandatory next. And then, of course, we have Josh Kelly.
At the same time, Boots admitted he is frustrated that the Ortiz fight still has not happened. According to him, Team Ortiz made contractual mistakes that prevented what he believes would have been the biggest fight of his career so far. Despite the setback, Boots remains confident the matchup can still happen and insists he is ready whenever the opportunity finally comes.
Everybody asks me about it all the time. I did my part, and like I said, I thought the fight was done. After he had Fort Lubin. And we get out the ring, he talking about he want to fight Errol Spence. That's his dream fight. So I'm like, it was crazy. And then leading up to making the fight happen, I started training for that fight in January. So, because we were supposed to fight in March, then we were supposed to fight in April, then we were supposed to fight in May. Then we wind up, fighting Zayas. So I technically kind of like trained for 5 months, for Zayas, because they switched my opponent and all that stuff. But it is what it is, and right now, like I said, my task is belts. I mean, I ain't, I'm the man of this division. I do what I want, and I got 2 belts at this division.
Boots' father and trainer, Boots Ennis, also revealed the team's long-term plans. According to him, the ultimate goal is to collect every belt at 154 pounds and become the undisputed champion. He expects Boots to return this December, with Sebastian Fundora or Josh Kelly as the preferred opponents, while Fundora remains the top choice. Boots also confirmed they are done waiting for Errol Spence Jr. and have moved on.
Well, he should be fighting by like December, maybe December. Okay. Because if he fight in December, that means he get a chance to fight one of them, Fundora or either Josh Kelly, whoever wins. Sure, you want to fight the best, man.
Is that the fight that you want next? Like he said, he has to fight. It's mandatory. That's the fight he's gonna fight.
But that's the fight we want.
But after that, he wants to fight Boots.
Fundora or either Josh Kelly. You heard what Boots said. We're trying to clean up the division. That 154 division. Once we clean that up, we might, we might be moving up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Once we clean that division out.
If Errol Spence beats Tim Tszyu, do you think that would be a good, maybe big, major fight between Boots and Spence?
That's a good fight down the line. Yeah, that is a good fight down the line.
For Boots, the move to 154 looks like perfect timing. Buddy McGirt believes nobody in the division can beat him right now, and even predicts Boots would stop Fundora. While McGirt sees Ortiz as the toughest test available, he still expects Boots to come out on top. In his view, Boots has the complete package to dominate the division and continue building his legacy.
I just think that not only the better man won, but the more experienced man won. Boots is the real deal at that weight, man. No one's going to beat him at 54, man.
Nobody.
No. I don't see it.
Not even the Tower Inferno.
Nah. To me, he stops Fundora.
Chops him down?
Yeah.
So you think it's real fight?
Boots can fight, man.
Okay.
He can fight. He's the real deal. He can fight.
So So what, you think his real test is Vergil Ortiz?
Yeah, but I pick him to beat Vergil as well.
While the fight is still awaiting official confirmation, The discussion around it keeps growing. Sergio Mora believes this is a matchup that has to happen, pointing out that both fighters are aggressive punchers who like to press forward and break opponents down. Ortiz will look to regain momentum early, while Boots will rely on his long frame, sharp technique, and ring control to gradually trap and outwork Ortiz.
Meyer, I mean, we've been praising this kid since the beginning, a knockout puncher, but Ortiz gets hit too. He gets rocked. He gets controversially knocked down as well. He would deny it, but the truth is there. We could see, we have eyes. Boots is the same way. This is the type of fight with Boots and Ortiz, when it happens, one of the biggest fights in boxing against two power punchers that are susceptibly defensively because they're so front foot. They go for the knockout. When you have knockout punchers, you're bound to get touched. The difference is Boots rolls with the shots. He takes a little bit of the steam off the shots. He knows how to use his long frame and still dig to the body. Vergil, on the other hand, he'll get up after getting dropped, shake his head, and put it in another gear, in a meaner gear.
Adding to the growing excitement, Chris Mannix praised Team Ortiz for staying ready and preparing, as if the fight with Boots is already set. He believes that commitment shows how serious both sides are about making it happen. With so many people across boxing calling for this matchup, Mannix feels it would be unfair if fans were denied one of the sport's most anticipated fights.
And run into shots, especially if you're buzzed. So when it does happen, hold on. It's going to be explosive. Someone's going to get knocked out. And I always pick a side, right, Mannix? I always say, oh, well, this guy's going to be the favorite. That's a legitimate 50-50 fight.
All right. Then should it happen next? Because in the days that followed that fight, we have heard from Oscar De La Hoya calling for Boots versus Vergil next. We have heard from Vergil calling for Boots against Vergil next. We have heard from Rick Meridian calling for Boots against Vergil next. Pretty much everybody that's in the orbit of Vergil Ortiz, including Vergil Ortiz. Robert Garcia, add him to that mix. The trainer of Vergil says, let's make that fight next. Everybody on Vergil's side.
Sebastian Fundora shared his thoughts and believes the Ortiz fight will happen before he gets his own shot at Boots. Fundora is heavily backing Ortiz to win, arguing that Boots showed mistakes and vulnerabilities in his recent performance against Xander Zayas. In his view, Ortiz's relentless pressure and disciplined approach could be enough to outscore Boots over the distance.
I think Vergil wins that fight. I think Vergil wins the fight. We saw some flaws from Boots with the last fight. I mean, he looked great. He looked great. I mean, he beat Zayas. I mean, pretty easy. But that third round still raises some questions, right? I mean, it raised everybody some questions. How does he do with pressure? Vergil is a pressure fighter, and he hits hard. I consider myself also a pressure fighter who throws a lot of punches and hits hard. So we'll see what happens when he fights one of us. I mean, I guess Vergil's first. So we'll see what happens with that, but I favor Vergil.
Well, actually, man, your deepest thoughts about them as opponents for yourself than each other.
Oh, yeah. I'll beat them both. It's as simple as that. I'll beat them both.
As for Fundora himself, many still see him as the opponent most capable of giving Boots real problems. Max Kellerman believes his incredible size and reach, if used the right way, could create serious challenges. He also pointed to Fundora's impressive showing against Keith Thurman as proof of his growth, arguing that a fighter with those physical advantages can make even Boots uncomfortable.
I got a lot of size.
Fundora.
I think Fundora's a problem.
Fundora.
Because
of his size and his reach.
Because his size, his reach, and how he's using it now.
Yes.
You're looking at a...
I give him. This is what I'm on guard against. I give Fundora credit. I absolutely agree. He's gotten better.
Yes.
And because of his size and reach and his volume punching, he can be a problem. I'd like to see how Boots fares against Fundora, although I would think if Boots especially could beat Fundora. What I'm careful about is people going into the Thurman fight thought one thing of Fundora. Coming out of the Thurman fight, they thought another thing.
Yeah.
But this is not Thurman from 6 years ago, guys.
He's not a bum.
Burnham made a great really? How do you know? How do you know what Thurman is? You only seen him once.
Through all of this, one thing has become clear. The 154-pound division is one of boxing's hottest weight classes. Tim Bradley believes it is the best division in the sport because of the number of exciting matchups available. The Inside the Ring panel also agrees that Ortiz is among the toughest tests for Boots. Bradley added that even Jermell Charlo returning to 154 shows just how valuable the division has become.
154 is that you have Boots. You see his determination. Did you see it the other night? You saw his determination and will? Vergil Ortiz, what does he have? That determination and that will.
And Vergil's a little twitchy too for a guy with power.
Yeah.
And aggression.
And
he got a lot of heart.
Fedora, the same thing, man. I feel like 54 is the best division in boxing.
I agree.
They have the hottest fights in boxing based upon just determination, will to win.
And the matchups.
You gotta kill these dudes to win.
And then really? You didn't have to kill Xander to win?
No, I'm talking about you got. I'm talking about Boots.
So now you're talking about. So now you're down to 3 guys that you're saying that about.
And then on top of that, you got Charlo coming in the mix. He's still not there.
And I like.
Here's the problem.
I like Charlo.
Here's the problem with Jermell. Here's the problem.
At a time when many are praising Boots for his performances, others are pointing to the weaknesses they believe still exist. Robert Garcia, who trains Ortiz, closely studied Boots' recent fight and said he noticed several flaws. According to Garcia, there are openings that Ortiz can exploit if the two finally meet, giving his fighter a real chance to pull off a statement victory.
Went down a couple times, but he was also at a point where he stunned Boots. Yeah. He landed some good punches, made it the 7 rounds that the fight lasted was enough to maybe say it's fight of the year. Round 3, maybe round of the year. So, we still have 6 more months of the year, so we don't know what's going to happen. But as of right now, I think it's going to be hard to beat that. Both Boots and Zayas both came to fight and show the world that that's what boxing needs. So respects to both of them. But I also was there because I have a fighter, Vergil, who.
Through watching Boots in action, Garcia is convinced Ortiz has the tools to expose him in the ring. With camp focused on bringing Ortiz to peak condition both physically and mentally, Garcia is standing firmly behind his fighter. He confidently predicted that if the fight happens, he is 100% certain Ortiz will stop Boots and deliver the biggest win of his career.
100% agree with Vergil. I think if Vergil is able to, fight Boots and we were able to get those punches, I think it's over. I think Vergil is not going to hold back. Vergil has great, insane power at 154. So I think Vergil will finish him.
Yeah. Where does Ennis line up now in terms of, I guess, the pound for pound list and based off that performance? How good is he?
Well, look, I think I guess it depends on who you ask. Pound for me is a fighter that shows great skills, obviously, against the opponents that they're beating and the way they're beating them. Fighters that are in pound for pound list, you got to show that you belong there. You got to defend that position too.
Ortiz is gearing up on his side, preparing with the hope that the fight gets made very soon. He also reminds fans that he was the one who accepted the challenge, rejecting claims that he avoided the matchup. Those accusations have frustrated him, as he believes they are unfair. According to Ortiz, he has always been willing to say yes whenever a fight opportunity was presented.
I was the only one that said yes. So now you have a lot of people that were saying that I was ducking at 147 when there was no fight to be offered or anything like that. The only times that the fight has ever been offered to either of us, I have said yes. So when people are saying when they align that word with me, I'm not talking about if they want to align it with him, they should. I don't care about that. But if they want to align it with me, then they can't say that because I said yes.
Out of all the options available, the Ortiz fight is being considered one of the best matchups that could be made. Chris Mannix discussed its potential with Malik Scott, calling Ortiz a killer and one of the best finishers in modern boxing. He also believes Boots gained valuable lessons from facing Xander Zayas, preparing him better for the challenge and helping him understand what it takes to fight Ortiz.
Before, it doesn't end well for the guys that go up against him. Vergil Ortiz is one of the best finishers in all of boxing. You've got to shore up that defense. You got to move a little bit more. Be willing to box a little bit more. Throw that jab a little bit more. These are all lessons I think Boots will take from that. And maybe you're happy about it, right? Like if you had fought Vergil Ortiz right away, maybe you fight like that, and Vergil maybe he knocks you out. Right. Now you get a learning experience from it, and we go into that. Let's make it happen. Let's just make it happen. Give me that fight, please. I'm begging you.
The stage is set for a potential war between two of boxing's most dangerous talents. Ortiz is ready to prove he belongs at the top, while Boots is determined to rule the division. Now the question is, who leaves with the victory? Share your prediction below, hit like, and subscribe for more breaking boxing stories.